Welcome back, everybody. It's been a while. It's felt like forever,
A whole week.
a whole week, and ups and downs. I've been itching to return. It just hasn't felt, like
Right.
podcasting. Yeah, it hasn't felt right. And podcasting is a way for us to kind of express ourselves and get some of the things that we have on our chest out, and maybe profess our love for one another. I don't know. What do you think, Alex?
Yeah, I feel like it's a good way to like de-stress ourselves, especially with the week we had.
Mm-hmm. But we're back, and most importantly, you as a listener are back.
How are you doing, buddy? Because I never ask.
So happy you asked me that today. Honestly, it's been a decent day. I know you know,
I
but
know, I
this
know.
is today's the first day I actually like kind of publicly posted I had a new job, and that's kind of exciting. Long day, just doing computer work. And have you ever done like 8 hours of just computer work? Just sitting there and you're like,
Not 8 hours, but
yep.
remember when I start? You probably knew this because you started out the same. How we got trained at our old job, my
Mm-hmm.
current job. You would just stare at like a computer for like 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
And
Literally everything I did today, sorry. Literally everything I did today was all review. Like I knew everything already because of my previous job. So it's just like, really?
I mean, I guess that's good. I mean, you're already a step ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see when we actually get on the floors. How are you? How are you doing today?
I'm right. I'm right. I was looking
Saw
at
you.
a lot of topics to talk about
Yeah.
today.
I saw you went bowling. Wanna share
Oh,
your score? You wanna share your score?
not really, no. Not really. I'm not a bowler.
What?
Mm-mm.
Did you get above 100 at least?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Isn't
Yeah.
like 120, 150 like average?
Well, halfway of a perfect game is 150, so I'd probably say like around that ballpark would be pretty good, right? Which I didn't
I
get.
mean, higher than most people. Don't ask Sid because Sid's like, well, you know what? I actually bowl a 300 perfect every game with me and my Homer Simpson. Actually, I think he has a Homer Simpson or a Bart Simpson
He actually has a
custom ball.
he has a actual ball.
Mm-hmm.
Said you're white.
Because that's what white people do.
Said
They
you're
just
actually
bowl
white.
on the weekends.
The funny part was, well, not the funny part. The terrible part. I had to drive almost 2 hours just to go bowling.
I know. I was shocked when you told me the location. I was like, are you kidding me? You went
Yeah,
all the way over there?
and the funny part
Because,
is, it's your hometown.
well, yeah, I don't consider it my hometown. It's my family's hometown, but
Uh,
how'd you like it up there? Tell me about it. I mean,
Honestly,
it's
sorry. I know you would tell me it's like it's not like the greatest spot to be, but I expected like people like shooting each other and like cars. Like it's a small little town, but it has like a big city kind of little feel to it.
yeah. Back when I was a child, that city was not as big as it used to. So like I don't know where if you did you go off the Mountain
So
View?
I went on man, what's that street called? I know I was on like Tulare, I think, or Tulane
Oh, I don't
Street.
know.
It's like in the. It looked like the main street because it was like a lot of like shops.
Super small. I mean, I would feel like at least 30 to 40% of what is there now is like wasn't there back in like the early 2000s.
But I feel like that's how our town is too. Like all the
Mm,
stuff we're getting on the other side, like passing the freeway.
yeah. I honestly I like where we're at because everything's pretty close.
The only thing
If
I
you were
don't
to go over
like
there, like
is we don't have enough stuff to do
or eat,
or eat.
because
Yeah.
big boys gotta eat.
What are we getting? Like the
Did
Habit
you
Burger?
did you try the gas station food?
No,
No.
because I had a pregnant lady with me, and they're
Oh,
very picky. Besides, she's already picky, anyways.
yeah. Remember, we could be at a seven-story mall, and the only thing she would pick from is panda.
Yeah, she's very
I don't know.
picky.
Mm-mm. The reason why I asked is because we had a conversation the other day, and we want to ask you and the viewers if the viewers even like eat gas station food. Who has the best? I say AM PM.
Yeah, Arco AMPM.
Mm-hmm.
I would always remember going. My parents would always like travel out of the city to like go do business, and we would always stop at an Arco MPM and be like, "Can I get a hamburger or a hot dog?" And then you'd be like, "Can I get two of them?" Because the hot dogs are like $1 or something.
They're super cheap.
And then they have like the spicy ones, and you're like, you just put a little ketchup on it, and you're golden, you're full. All right, you know what?
Spicy hot dogs.
Just,
I love hamburgers, man. Cheeseburgers, hamburgers, all I ate. You know, my family, mom and dad used to like grow up on those, like not solely on A&P, but like Circle K, the big gulp that caused like America to go obese, pretty much.
mm-hmm.
They would get that like all the time when they were younger, and so going to the gas stations, like I don't know, it's a little special, it's a little
So,
treat for us.
do you like say let's go on a road trip? Do you only go to AMPM if you want like snacks or food?
Mm-mm. No, honestly, I haven't gone to a gas station to get food in quite a while. Usually, if I go, it's to use the restroom or to eat. But other than that, I don't really like go in and get it. They do look appetizing. I'm not gonna lie.
Cause
I have the mind of a sumo wrestler.
yeah, I was gonna say like the one that like really hits sometimes besides Arco, I really like Arco for all around. Is Chevron with like coffee. So like you'd get like like a hot chocolate when you're young, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna drink this until we get to where we're gonna go,
Mm-hmm.
and get like that little
Uh,
sugar rush.
is it just our Chevron, or do multiple Chevrons have like little restaurants tied with them?
A
Because
little
both
what?
Chevrons in our town have a restaurant tied to them.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't go to Chevron
I,
because
I think it's
that's
just our
too
local.
much for me. AMPM's where I try to AMP or Valero's, but I don't think we have Valero's anymore. It could be something else.
Do you have like a certain snack you like getting at a gas station besides the food? Because I like getting like the little peanuts, the little hot ones.
mm, it's a toss up between the hot fries and like the Ruffles queso chips.
It's a shout.
Those two
It's
are
a
like
shout.
I don't even know why, man. I'll just go out and I'll go inside the store. I'll look suspicious. I get like 5 bags and like they're all for me, man.
I thought you said suspicious in the other way. I saw a video the other day. This girl had like stolen like 10 bags of candy, and like the guy working, he wasn't even the owner. He was just working. He's like, "You're trying to steal from me?" And then she's like rough, like she had like a backpack. She's like, "No, I don't have anything." He's like, "I can hear you like moving the candy around." And then she
That
takes
would
out
be.
she takes out like six of them. He's like, "I know you have more. I saw you take more." And she takes
It's
out
like
like
a
another
little
four
kid.
more. Yeah,
It's like a little kid getting caught. They're like, I don't have anything. Open your mouth. I
yeah,
don't have anything.
that type of situation type thing.
You want to tell people about your the question you got asked pretty recently?
Question.
Yeah, the question if you were from another continent.
That's what you were trying to say. So I don't want to come off as racist. I'm definitely not. But Argos and AMPM are owned a lot by like Indian or like Punjab people, and I have a very dark complexion. And I went to one here in town, and the owner, I'm assuming he's a Punjab because there's a lot of them around here. And I give him my cash to pay, and he's just smiling at me. I'm like, what the hell is he smiling at? And then he just like ran. He's like punching it in, whatever. He's like, "Are you Punjab?" And I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, are you Punjab?" I'm like, "No, I'm Mexican." Which brings me to another story at McDonald's. One of the maintenance ladies there, um, she was freaked out when I started speaking Spanish because to that day where she finally asked me, she's like, "I swear to God, I thought you were Indian when you first started working here." I'm like, "All right, that's cool, I guess."
No disrespect to the Punjabs and all them. I don't want to come off as like what's the word? Arrogant, ignorant. I
Mm-hmm.
really don't know. I know there's like different, just like Latin American people. There's different races and stuff. So
We're
we
not.
we're
We're
not
not.
we're not making fun of anybody.
We're not trying to be assholes. It's just it
Yeah,
was a
yeah.
funny story that happened to me.
I just like to hear that.
I mean, I guess I look like that, which is funny because I've shown you my DNA,
Mhm.
and it says I'm Native American, but of America, because I guess probably from my dad's side, they're straight from Mexico, like those Indians. I'm like, oh, well, I guess I kinda am Indian.
I think I want to do that either this year, next year. See where I'm at.
It's interesting.
I don't know where I would be though. My sister did it. She's 3% Nigerian or something like that.
I think I have a little bit. Well, I mean, it'll tell you on there, but we have a little bit of African, and then it's like all of us, because it started in Africa, and everyone just starts spreading everywhere.
Britain out.
Yeah. And I have some Asian in me, like Chinese and Japanese, I think. Which is weird.
I'm sorry I'm so quiet right now. I'm trying to think too, like if because she's done it before, but I'm not sure if ours would be kind of identical. I don't know if it would be super identical. I'm trying to remember if there's anything that really stood out about hers, but like I think she's more
Oh,
Spaniard descent,
what
which makes
was
sense because
what was the one that gave her the most percentage?
her.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. Spaniard.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So Spaniard was like the highest, I believe. I could double check and get back to everybody on that because it's been a while.
We're known to fact check a lot.
Yeah, our fact checker's on a vacation. It was in the budget, the labor, so I was like, you know what, take some time off.
We
Take
only
some time,
we could only afford them for one episode.
right? I feel like every time that, well, I mean, he's here, but I don't want to bug him. I was like, he had a rough day at work the other day, and I'm gonna give him some time off because
Let's
we all need some
just give him a little shout out. He's working
pain.
where you used to work at too,
He has my blood. That
and face.
Yeah, literally. Um, he he's the last sibling of mine, but he like solidified the blood of that company and our family line. So now, like, for the rest of our lives, all our children have to work there.
You can't put that on them, man. Come on.
No, they have to. They have to learn and appreciate for what they have and what they have to go through to earn it.
I wouldn't put that on my worst enemy to work there.
Yeah, but when when he talks about or when he's venting, it's it's completely different than when we were there,
Yeah, it's much
and it's
nicer.
crazy. It's crazy because like I don't know. I don't want to say people are lazy or being like really sensitive to certain things, but I feel like if they were there when we had the managers that we had, oh, people would be sent to HR like every day.
I mean, just by the amount of people that would just leave, I saw so many different faces, and I'm pretty sure you saw more in your time there. And it just shows you how much stress it was just working there the whole time.
Yeah, I remember people would be complaining about certain managers and what they would say, and it's just weird to kind of like see the change, and we're only 10 years apart, but in terms of working there, I left what in 2018.
Mm-hmm.
We're in 2020, so 2 years ago, and in 2 years time, a lot has changed. That's interesting. I can't wait to see what it'll be when my grandkids were there and they're working there. we own like half the company.
Pretty much, right at this point.
uh,
That
I
place
don't know,
will that
man.
place is just ingrained in us now, pretty much.
It really is. Like you can't. There's no way. With my new job, I have to get non-slip shoes, and I
Mm-hmm.
was like,
Really,
I
really.
could never escape. There's no escaping this.
For people who don't know, you can't work in fast food without non-slip because there's a lot of grease and stuff on the floor, and they don't want an accident.
Mm-mm. I went in dress shoes one time and ate shit.
You're like, where's my
Yeah,
belly?
literally, you just fall like, oh.
Dress shoes are
I
probably the
remember
worst because they have no grip.
sometimes, sometimes even like people that had the shoes, but like they were just so worn out. I remember
Just clumsy.
I forgot who it was. Someone was running around an area, and on a sharp turn that they had to do, they just flew back and ate shit. I'm like, oh my god,
What's
that's
it?
why we don't run.
Was it the guy who was named like me? Because it sounds like something you'd do.
I don't know, man. I'm trying to remember.
He'd be like walking around, be like,
I,
I could see him doing that. That's why.
I'm trying to think who it was. I honestly I don't remember who it was, but oh, I think I know who it was. I'm not going to say their name because I respect them. I'll tell you after the
Yeah.
this episode.
Speaking of Alex, the manager,
Hmm.
man, I would always I don't want to poke fun of him, but it would be like this man had like I don't know, he had a condition, right? And
Mm.
he would like take his time to like walk. So like you felt bad, but like you have to hustle where we work at, and especially for managers, like they'll be like, "Oh, I need help in the back," so you have to go all the way to the back window, and then you're like, you have to go back to the front while still trying to multitask. So they'd be like, "Alex, we need you in the back." He's like, "I'm coming," and he's like, I'm like, "Oh man, I feel for this guy. Like he has to rush back and forth right now."
Uh, I know he's a super cool guy, and he's like probably one of the most positive people you'll ever
Mm-hmm.
meet. Like no
He's
matter what, I don't think I've ever seen him like have an extremely bad day. But two stories about him. One story was me and Frankie had just probably like played soccer or football,
mm-hmm.
and we were like, let's go get some ice cream. So we go to the store, and he's working, and he's going from one end of the store to the other,
Mm-hmm.
and like you said, you have to be in a rush. And because of his condition, this man looked like he was about to topple over. And Frankie's like, "Is this man gonna get help? He's gonna he's gonna like get hurt really bad." And I wish I could act it out right here. I'm not going to, but
No.
if it was one of those you had to be there to see it, because I I wish me and Frankie would have talked about this on the episode. And the second story was pretty much he was, you know, helping a customer.
Mm-hmm.
Another one was up right next to him complaining. He's like, "Give me a second." And
But
the
he's take in mind, he's like he has like the softest, like a sweet voice. Like he's a cool dude. So
yeah,
he's really nice.
and he was like, he was like, "Give me a second." And the woman is not having it. She's just like screaming her head off at him, just upset and just wants attention. But he can't talk to two people at one time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so she pretty much gives him the biscuit of what was wrong with the order. He gets pissed off because he's about had it with this chick. Gets the biscuit and just throws it at her. And he's like, "I said I'd help you at the second window." Just eats it in her face, and when he told me that, I was like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, like I couldn't believe it, dude."
That's like a death sentence pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, if anybody would have heard that back then, we all would have been fired for doing something like that. But
Our manager was very understanding, but uh,
probably one of the
yeah,
coolest ones.
just a good person in general too.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure you know this, but Alex was the one that also called me for my interview.
Mm-hmm. I
So
remember that.
he had like a hard time like just calling people. Like, and I don't know if many people know this, but you did my interview with our general manager back in the day.
Yeah.
And this guy was like so important to the store. He kept coming in and out of my interview. So I'm like, he probably doesn't even know my name at this point.
I was there probably like 13 seconds of his interview.
Yeah. I'm like, all right, that's cool, I guess. I'm not doing something important here.
Hey, but she liked you. She's like, "What you think of like?" I like him. He's cool. Let's
For the
let's give him
13
the call.
seconds.
13 seconds. I don't know what was that. I don't even remember. I know I had to keep going back and forth. I just don't know exactly what I was doing, and
Were you
I
technically
did.
like on the floor or what?
Mm-mm.
So they just couldn't deal without you for like 3 minutes?
I guess not.
I
Those
think.
are
Oh, sorry.
those are good days.
I think what also helped me was I had some family that had worked was working at McDonald's at the time too. Cause my trainer, I've known her for like years, And I think you did it on purpose. You're like, oh, okay, then I'm gonna put him to train with her.
I'm
Cause
trying to
you,
remember.
Rosa, you remember?
Yeah.
I was like, oh,
Oh, you
mm,
wanna you wanna
Miss
talk
Rosa,
about those days? You wanna talk about those days?
dude, you get a lot. Like we were saying, like you get a lot thrown at you on your first training day. It's just a lot of videos, and they expect you like to grasp everything real quick,
and
but
you're
you don't.
and you're young.
Yeah,
You're
that too.
young and you want to do your best, and so like you try. Nowadays, I feel, and this is my opinion. Don't blast me, but I feel like people aren't like as caring or considerate of others in their jobs.
Mm.
They see it as just like another job that's an entry to working, and they're like, I'll get another one,
But
or they just don't care as
you
much.
were always on the front line, like towards the end. That you had to do a lot of training, so you saw how it
Yeah,
was. And I remember you would always tell me like, I hate talking so much because it'd be a 3 hour training, and you had to do it two
I
days.
2 days in a row, and sometimes I have to be like training two people at one time. I was like, bro, like it was nice to get off the floor, but to be honest, like there was so much talking at the end of it. I was like, and I'm already bad at talking in general. Can you imagine
I
hearing me talk
notice.
for 3 hours straight?
I do it every day, babes.
Thanks. Surprised you're still here. You haven't got hearing aids or anything.
I haven't given up yet. Um,
On
before we go,
mhm.
training has
Any
gotten
shout
so
outs?
different at McDonald's.
Oh, really?
When I used to see you train and to how I got trained, I literally sat in the crew room staring at a computer screen, and I walk out and be like, I'm done with the video. I need the next one.
Hmm. I
And
think it's all like hands-on stuff now, like
yeah,
way more hands-on than it used to be.
I
Because
remember
you used to have to like
I
sit for
used,
like hours there.
dude, I messed up a lot when I first started. I didn't even know how to like drop the eggs. Like I wouldn't crack the yolk and it'd still be there. I'm like, this doesn't look right.
Real quick announcement. Please, in the future, teach your children how to sweep and mop. You don't know
Yes,
how difficult
yes,
that is to teach some
yes.
kid who's never picked up a broom in their life, and they're like, "How do I do this?" And I'm like, I might have come off as an asshole because I'm like, "How do you not know how
No,
to sweep them up?" And they're like, "Oh, I
it's
remember I had to get on like two kids. I was like, that's not how you do it." And I had to show them physically. Like I never would have thought I had to show them like that.
um. I remember because what we were saying with the long slip shoes. If you don't sweep, someone could slip like on a wrapper or even food. Like
Food, dude. Food was the
a
worst,
chicken nugget is a deadly thing there.
especially uncooked food.
Oh yeah, because it's
That
raw and it's so
whoosh.
slippery, and then it just like it gets so like oh it's so raw and slimy.
Yeah,
And then
literally.
mopping is important too because of all the grease.
And if you don't know how to mop, Lord,
Someone, Lord help
someone, someone help them. I would have thought like a company that big would have like a better method of mopping or like better chemicals that would like catch it in one go. I remember when I would have to do the mops, I would have to mop once, mop twice, and sometimes mop a third time just to get the grease off and out of the cracks. And nowadays, I mean, it doesn't look bad. Whenever I've gone in, it doesn't look
them.
that bad. So maybe they did upgrade that, which is good. Less work.
I remember one night I was closing and they had a guy literally come in to do the grout again. He's like, I ain't gonna finish this thing like in 2 weeks. I'm like, oh, it's that bad, huh? Because you remember the fries would get stuck between the grouts, and
Dude,
you're like, nah, it's, I ain't gonna pick that up. Just leave it there.
sometimes I feel like they would just go over it with the grout. Like, just they're like,
Oh,
screw
this
this.
fry,
I'm just gonna
this fry's gonna be here forever.
because I remember one time I think I did find someone like, did someone go over this with when they were doing the grout? And then like our old boss is like, probably, like people wrote. All right.
That's a lot of
I
McDonald's.
know a lot of old stuff. I know you have some stuff you want to talk about.
I
I
have
have
many
a
more.
interesting fact.
I'll do mine real quick. Little history behind what I did. My world history teacher for extra credit during summer school, she would just put today in history, and it was like quick little snippets of like something that would happen on this exact day, and I usually find them and find something interesting. Like today, in 1883, of no what November 18th, the railroads created the first time zones. I don't know if you knew that.
You know what? To be honest, I've never even thought about that. Like, when the first time zones, like, how did they even create that?
Yeah, so they created the time zones because obviously they would travel across states,
Continent.
the whole continent, pretty much, or I mean, the country.
Mm.
So to not mess up with the confusion of, oh, it might be 12 here or 12 over there, they did it at 12 noon. That's when it was the highest point, so that's when they marked noon. And then it wouldn't hit noon everywhere else until like a different time. So that's how they got all the time zones. 4 different time zones. So
It must have been like a lot of work too to like sync
yeah,
that to make it into like one big system where we all can rely on. Makes you appreciate stuff a little bit more, huh?
it's kind of cool, huh? 1883.
1883. What? Let me ask you a quick question. 1883. That's like
140 years
Western.
ago.
It's like Western status. What
Yeah,
do you think you'd be
like all of
doing?
us.
What do you think you'd be doing right now? You gonna be a gunslinger with your cowboys,
I think I'd be probably a farmer.
or would you be a bandit?
Actually, yeah, probably. But there wasn't much to do back in the day. You were either like a farmer, a blacksmith, or
It's
just
cool.
or just a worker, yeah, or a gunslinger.
A bandit.
Yeah,
I think I'd be a bandit.
you just want to be cool.
Wild Needles Bandit.
Dirty Mike.
Dirty Mike. My name is Dirty Mike, and I'm here to. What do they rob? Horses, cows,
No,
cattle,
they used to
everything,
rob
anything.
trains for gold.
And coaches,
They used
Bank
to
of
rob
America.
people.
You know, now that we're talking about coaches, did you know the Pacheco Pass used to be like a very dangerous area to pass through?
Yeah, I've heard stories that it's haunted, and besides the fact that it's really dark.
Mm-hmm. And people like mysteriously just
Yeah.
that stuff happens. But back in probably 1883, uh, it used to be called Robbers Pass,
Mm-hmm.
and they would actually hide up in there and pretty much rob everybody coming through into the valley or out of the valley.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's probably where I'd be right now, making my potluck stew
That's
with
wild.
my bread. With my bread.
You need to stop. You're not Dirty Mike.
Yeah, I'm Dirty Mike for the rest of this episode. What else happened on this day?
I got
You have
one
anything else?
more. I got one more for today in history. So in
Mm.
1886, this guy. Let me pull it up real quick.
Yeah, pull it up.
He
I'm
was
gonna clean my
called.
guns.
I'll just call him Mr. Silva. He was a high-profile expert on exotic birds, and he was sentenced for smuggling parrots, out of all things.
Parrots.
Yeah.
Do you know why? Does it tell you why?
Yeah. So he obviously wanted to make money. So he smuggled more than 100 hyacinth macaws, which were valued at 1.4 million in the 90s, and other like exotic birds. So these birds
Dang.
were like really really rare. So
Yeah.
he was trying to make money off of them. Um, Apparently the population was only from 2 to 5,000 in the whole world, and many of these birds did die when he was smuggling them. So and
That bad.
they only gave him 7 years with no parole.
If only he was in 1883 and Michael would have saw. I mean, Dirty Mike would have saw.
Dirty Mike.
Dirty Mike sounds like my mustache.
This is Dirty
Like a
Mike
really
right here.
terrible Dirty Mike mustache. Imagine stealing birds. You think him and that gold smuggler are related by any chance?
Which one?
The gold smuggler that would smuggle gold to evade taxes
I don't know about that.
in his bum
Oh, that
from
guy.
episode 3.
I remember. I
Yeah.
heard I mean, this guy's called Tony Silva. I don't think they're related. I think the other guy was from India.
Interesting. That's wild. I mean,
All right, that's all I had for today. What did you have?
real quick question: do you know if the birds do they go extinct or
I actually don't, but
are they endangered?
I should check that out. I just saw it. I just got what it was from the article. But yeah, I can definitely check
Well,
that out.
no, it's not anything in today's history. Uh, not nothing cool like yours. Just a little gory, because that's who I am. Me,
Gory.
Dirty Mac. Not. Okay. So does if anybody knows the answer to this, I'm not gonna know. But let's pretend I do know that
Mm-hmm.
you don't know. I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna teach y'all a lesson. Alex, why were chainsaws invented?
To cut down trees,
No, no, you're wrong.
cut down big trees.
No, I'm actually thinking about how they made this transition. So chainsaws were invented to help when a child would breach, and that's when the child comes out of the canal,
Wait,
feet first.
they build a chainsaw. Dun 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 dun.
Yep.
To take out a baby.
Yeah. So what they would do is they would like pretty much like cut the pelvic bone to help save the baby and the mom. Uh, so yeah,
Are
and
we
because
savages?
so the pelvic bone, if anybody's taken anatomy, knows
Your hip.
it's thick. It supports a lot of our body, and it's kind of complex if you think about it because it's you have your I'm not even trying to mention them because I already forgot them. But imagine a baby's coming out, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he comes out head first.
Is that sorry? I don't know if that's normal. Is that the normal
It's
one?
not normal. No, feet first. Sorry, feet first. Did I say head first or feet
You
first?
said head first.
All right, let's change it. He comes out feet first.
Okay, see that doesn't sound normal because the head might
No,
get
it's
stuck.
called, it's called breaching. It's called breaching, and they would actually used to perform that operation with a knife,
Mm-hmm.
and it was slow and painful. And so doctors came up with or surgeons came up with a way to make it quicker, probably not painless.
No, no, it doesn't sound pleasant.
No, it actually sounds terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
I'm scared.
Can you imagine? Like, all right, he's coming feet first. Get into her hip.
No.
Oh my god, no,
Yeah,
I can't.
can you imagine like the very first time they use it? They're like, we're like, hey, we haven't tried this, but we want to try it on you. Like, how do you think that woman was probably feeling
What
terrified?
though? I'll get back to what you were saying, but the one thing I want to ask is, how do you get to that point where like, oh, we gotta build something to help break the bone?
It was probably, well, like I said, it's a thick, strong bone. If they're using a
Oh,
knife, it's gonna take too long. You're gonna be there for hours, probably
they're
cutting
like,
into the bone.
let's get something like machine wise.
Mm-hmm.
Must suck to
Sounds
have
painful, dude.
kid. It must have sucked to have a kid, or you're probably like hoping and praying that he didn't come out feet first.
I would imagine that they would put you to sleep, right?
I mean, does it say when this started?
No, no, I could get more information.
That
It
sounds.
was a video I saw, and I was baffled by it. I was like, "What? Are you kidding me?" And I did a little bit more research, and
I can't imagine it.
truth be told, that's
We,
what happened,
we sound like it sounds so barbaric and savage.
right? Let's go back to when we used to wear high heels as men.
Wait, what?
Let's bring that back. Yeah,
Wait,
you never
what?
do that.
No.
Yeah, so like butchers, I believe, used to wear high heels
Mm-hmm.
so they wouldn't get their little feetsies dirty with blood.
Oh,
I've also read that cowboys used to wear them too. I could double check. Let me ask Dirty Mac on his opinion.
all right. You can come back next episode.
All
We
right,
talked
cool.
about that.
In the news of our lovely friend who
No,
just turned a year old. You
what?
know who that is?
COVID?
You know who just turned yeah, COVID turned a year old.
Not. Why is he our friend? He's not our friend.
He's our friend.
I'm not friends with COVID-19.
He's made our lives better. I mean,
COVID-19 has ruined so much of this year.
we're more connected. We started a podcast.
I
I've gotten thicker.
Those seem to be a lot of negatives and not a lot of positives.
So, if you live in California, Governor Newsom, it
Mm,
just issued for us November 17th
another lockdown.
as a lockdown because a lot of counties are turning purple.
What does purple mean?
No bueno. No más bueno.
It's,
No mucho bueno.
it's pretty much the worst you can probably get.
Yeah. 94. It was like what the stat I put was like 94% of California's population is pretty much in a lockdown. And I looked over our statistics in our area. It's only 10,000 cases as
Mm,
of this today.
which isn't that much considering.
It's not much, but then like we also have to look at our population size, and maybe I didn't get to look into that either because we were kind of rushing this, but it's a slight change. Um,
Because we had around typically those numbers when before they started rising again, right?
I'm not too sure. I do know like we did do a pretty massive jump,
Mm-hmm.
and then things kind of started mellowing down. But Newsom was actually the one, and I'm not going to say just Newsom, but like the counties, because of the rule that he placed at the beginning or like halfway through this year, when we first went to the lockdown, we actually were able to control the numbers back down. And so a lot of people were like trying to, or a lot of other states were trying to replicate our structure. I guess Idaho was one of them, but now because of the United States is going back up rapidly, Idaho's not going to do that no more. They're like, nope,
Didn't
we gonna
work.
wear some masks, but they're not going to like force everybody close. So I'm wondering what's going to happen with everything around us because people are starting to open up. We have indoor seating happening again. And one comment I saw was they were like, "Oh, the election, no cases were being reported, and after it's all done, now it's all being reported." And it just baffles me sometimes that people just think it just goes away and like, no, it's always here. It just gets outshined by bigger news.
Mm-hmm.
I what's your take on it?
I didn't want to comment on it too because we probably did like look at the same stuff because I have it written down too. Um, I just feel like we're going backwards with COVID
Mm-hmm.
because when I was at my warehouse job, my manager would joke around. He'd be like, "Oh, Corona is still not here," but when it first started, so we were kind of like joking about it. He would always be like, "No, it's not the beer," um, and that's when the couple who was on the cruise in San Francisco. Pretty sure you read about that. They were there for like 2 weeks,
Mm-hmm.
and there was a couple from Modesto. Modesto's not that far from us, so we started to panic. That could probably be our patient zero that will start it here, and we could have prevented an outbreak, obviously.
I feel
And
like
what?
I feel like it was a UC student, wasn't it?
I don't even remember. I didn't. I was more worried about that couple. I always wanted to hear updates about
It
it,
was scary.
and I don't know. It wasn't here, so people weren't panicking too much. And then when we heard lockdown happening in San Fran, I remember my buddy got there, and I was gonna get him from the airport, and I'm like, dude, I don't even know if I can get to the airport because of this lockdown. I've never seen freeways around San Francisco so empty. And then on top of that, all the panic buying people are doing, which I think they're gonna do again because of this.
Yeah, it's eerie. You
It's
know,
it feels like we're like apocalypse
yeah.
days.
I don't remember. I don't know if it was San Fran or if it was LA that I went to, but it was. It wasn't like the beginning of the year, but it was really eerie to see that. I think it was like 2 months ago
Mm-hmm.
that freeways were a lot emptier than what it used
Usual.
to be. Yeah, and I remember when we went into lockdown, um, even going on our highway right outside.
Ours
It
is
was
busy for no
it's
reason.
busy. Yeah, it's busy. and it was really quiet. And I was like, "Whoa, this is pretty wild to kind of drive on it and not deal with traffic everywhere." Probably would have been the best time to go to Modesto.
Like I was
I
saying, sorry, that
no,
I
you're
feel like
okay.
we're going in reverse because we felt like we had it covered, and then I feel like people get too comfortable with the situation, and they're like, "You don't need a mask no more. It's fine. It's coming down again," or you don't hear about it, and then we're like back where we were. What, April, March,
Hmm.
and it's, I don't know.
And people
I
get restless too.
I feel like we all have to do our part. It's the only thing.
It's hard um, to not get too like politically involved with this because you're gonna have people that say masks don't work, they're getting brainwashed, and there's people like me who I do think masks do work because I work in a hospital and I go in and out of these rooms and like I'm protected from it.
Yeah,
As far as I know, I haven't gotten it yet.
yeah. I was gonna
You
say,
know,
like, you're a big example that they work.
yeah, and I always want to like, especially on Facebook, like if you've ever gone into like arguments and people and you start looking and you're like, damn, these people are 48 comments deep into an argument. I just wanted to jump in there, but I'm like, you know what? Like people aren't worth the time to like argue with. And it has to come from like, I guess from themselves to decide if they want to do it. And the way I see it is like if someone wants to argue and not, and I don't want to say facts
No,
because they are facts, but then they're gonna be like, well, this fact, these facts, and they start throwing their facts at you. It's just like
no.
it's not worth the energy.
I don't even think it should be an argument or even a debate. At least, like, if you see everything that's going on around us,
Mm-hmm.
which,
2020 hasn't been a year.
yeah, there's some hard heads out there. So
But you know, with the supposedly vaccine that's being put out,
yeah,
that's also scary too. Um, I
like
know
with
they're
this
not
whole,
reliable sources. Just like I can't say I'm a reliable source, but a lot of uh, like RNs that I follow from outside of our state or within our state, um, their hospitals are giving them clearance to talk about the vaccine and how they're supposed to lead by example
mm,
and pretty much get the vaccine. And a lot of them are super nervous. They're scared because they don't know if this vaccine's even effective or not. And what's your take? Do you think? I mean, I know it's not ready
no,
because you know, I mean, unless they truly devoted like a lot of time and resources, which we haven't had a lot of time.
no. But let's go inject some bleach in.
Hmm?
Anyways, oh, I was just gonna say, let's inject some bleach
Oh.
or some
Take
Lysol.
some Tide Pods.
The only thing I did want to say, I'm like, I know there's a small sample group right now, right? Testing it out. I'm kind of worried. This is like so skeptical of me, but might start the zombie apocalypse.
You
Just
know, we've all had these scenarios. I'm gonna say what we're all thinking. We kind of do want this to happen so we can see who would survive and who wouldn't survive.
I think we all say that, but like deep down, when it comes down to it, we're like, oh no, we don't want that.
No, no, no. I don't know, man. Like they say they've done trials and
But
that it's. I think Dr. Fucci said it was like 80 or 90% effective,
it's still not a high
and
enough number
and he was like, it's a lot higher than we thought it was gonna be. And we're like, what? You can't come out to the public saying that. You're supposed to be stern. Um,
because the only thing I'm worried about, because I know there's like different strands of it, right? Right, and what if one reacts differently to another?
I don't think I don't think it's so much of a vaccine. Um, a lot of the ways that they're trying to attack it is by inhibiting proteins
Mm-hmm.
on the molecule, and so
Make
if
it.
it if that's how they're truly going to go about it, then I don't think that they're going to have much issues. I'm not a doctor and I'm not a nurse or lab scientist that could really talk about this. I don't want to make myself look like a dumbass, but I mean, it's scary, man. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh yeah, but we'll definitely come back to this because
It's
still
affecting
it's
everybody and
still
everyone.
so relevant in our day now.
I heard you got some news about Apple. I want to share that with our Apple
Oh
fanboys.
yes, Apple. Let me pull that article up real quick. So Mike, I know you like Apple. You know, you're a big fan.
Okay,
Um,
first of all, I'm not an Apple fanboy. I like Apple. I like Android. I'm the guy. I'm the middleman.
this is the guy who already paid for his iPhone 12 Pro Max.
Shut the fuck. I didn't pay the Max, just the Pro.
Oh, okay.
Just the Pro.
You almost got the Max.
You know what though? You know what pisses me off?
They haven't shipped it.
Verizon. Verizon. If you're listening to me, I'm really upset with you. My sister and brother got same phone,
Hmm.
just in black, and theirs is coming like within the next week or two. I have to wait till December 4th or like December, like mid December to get mine. I'm like,
Just because you
it's
got a
my
different
own
color.
gift to myself. Yeah, I ordered the Pacific Blue,
I would have thought you for a little red.
but why do I pay Verizon that much?
Hey, that's why I pay 20
I'm pre-
bucks a month for Metro.
I'm pretty upset. I know I don't show it, but I'm pretty upset.
All right, let me get back to the topic at hand. It's still about
All right,
Apple,
Apple,
but
Apple.
I'm pretty sure people have heard about Battery Gate. That whole thing. People thought iPhones were throttling battery usage on older iPhones as soon as like they pretty much went off the market, and batteries would like not hold their charges longer, and just so you could pretty much do away with your phone. So
Skinks.
they found Apple was guilty, so they were doing this. But you know what they did?
Hmm.
They gave people $29 to buy a new battery, just to smooth things over. $29.
They're like, shh, buy yourself something nice.
But apparently, people were like, really? $29. So they said, we're going to do a class action lawsuit. So now, apparently, with 34 states in the U.S., they might be paying 500 million on top of 113 million for hiding all this information and pretty much doing the people wrong.
Apple sus.
So, you know, it's kind of fucked up if you think about it.
Yeah,
But it
because a
makes
lot of people spend a lot of money on Apple.
oh yeah,
Apple's not like a cheap. It's more of like a
it's a
like look at
lifestyle.
me. Yeah, I have this Apple. It costs lots of money, and I have money to spend. Apparently, that's not how I think about it. I just like their phones.
Don't get me wrong, Apple is not a bad phone, or
Hmm.
I should say iPhones, not the brand Apple. They make good products, but I feel like it's overpriced. But I feel like if you just want a phone and they do have a really good camera on it, but I don't know, I wouldn't pay like over $1,000 for a phone straight up like that.
I didn't. I didn't pay.
Especially if it's like I know I've said this before, but it's like basic. It does what you need it to do.
Yeah, I think I said it a couple episodes ago how Apple is having or not Apple, Verizon was having a deal.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I took that deal up, and they're gonna give me 500 credit for a phone that's worth 800 $900. So I'm only paying like I
400.
think 400
Mm-hmm.
for the new phone. And I'm gonna do that in payments, so it's like $20 a month, I believe.
That's not that bad.
Pretty good for me for an upgrade. Now I just have to make sure I don't break it because that seems to be my downfall. I break a lot of phones, and not on purpose. It's always on accident.
Or Sid. Sid, we
Let's
know
not
you're
talk
out
about
there. Sid, we know you're out there breaking phones.
it. I feel like I haven't seen Sid in like 10 years.
Sid's too busy for us nowadays.
I know. What's it like to have a life?
I wouldn't know. I don't want to know.
Speaking
No.
speaking of tech giants, you remember that TikTok? We were talking about TikTok like first 3 episodes.
Mm,
They had like
they
so
got
many
bought out.
days
Yeah,
before
before getting bought out.
Walmart. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. You have an
Well,
update?
6 days ago. Yeah, they actually came out with an update. I actually looked for it 2 episodes ago, but there was nothing since like the 20th of September. And I was like, wow, this thing kind of dropped. Well, according to the Wall Street Journal, the Commerce Department said on Thursday it would not enforce TikTok uh, to be shut down.
Oh, okay. So
So they pretty much just dropped it, and that was it. That's literally the update. I'm pretty sure that was very anticlimactic.
all right. So going on to the next story
But wasn't that was interesting that Walmart
yeah,
and who else? It was Oracle,
Walmart and someone else, which is weird.
Best Buy. No,
It's always we have to go back and fact check like always.
mm, I might have the notes here somewhere. But like
But now it's just
it
like
was
it's just its own app now. Like whenever it wants to be done, it can be done then.
Microsoft. It was Microsoft that
Oh, okay.
was in the bidding. Yeah, but now they don't have to get
Worry.
bought out apparently,
I mean,
which is it's okay.
it's whatever. I
It's
mean,
whatever.
now you don't have to worry about TikToks going down
You know,
when we're
for
on
all
the
you
toilet.
TikTokers,
When we're on the toilet, just scrolling through like 20 of them.
you you younglings doing your dances. Me and Alex are gonna create TikTok. We're gonna start dancing.
I gotta go.
You don't want to dance with me?
I can't dance.
Fine,
I can't dance.
whatever. I'll just go to A&PM and just eat a hamburger or something
It
with
doesn't.
my hot fries.
I mean, it doesn't help that you have one literally right down the street now.
mm, it's so convenient. The other day I was running out of gas, like super low. Usually I have to go to Circle K,
Hmm.
which is like a mile and a half or two. I'm just having it right there, baby. Turn the car on. I could literally just walk it there. That's how close it is.
We don't do walking.
Nah, I don't know if you guys could tell, but
And this man really wants to go hiking with me.
man, if anybody has some hikes to recommend here in California, let us know because I've been wanting to hike. I asked Alex. I was like, "Hey man, you want to go do a 25-mile backpacking trip?" Yeah,
I have a heart attack rolling down.
it's an easy hike. I think we could do like 12 miles a day.
Dude, that's like from here to Modesto without the traffic.
I could do it. We can do it.
Let's
We
go.
could do it.
Let's go walking.
We could do it. Come on.
You probably
No, but
can.
like I've been really like I have this major urge to go on a hike.
Oh yeah, or and camping.
Camping, yeah. I did look at
Camping
a
into a
campsite
hike.
the other day. Hmm?
Camping into a backpack trail hike thing.
Yeah, that's what the hike is, 25.
Oh,
It's 50 round trip if
so
you don't want to pay the $86 for the shuttle to take us all the way back to a starting point. So I mean, we're walking back, so 25 miles
so 86.
back. It's only I got all the gear. All we got to buy good hiking shoes, some pantalones that
At
we're
this
going to be okay with.
at this point, it's gonna be doing my Everest. I'm gonna have to bring an oxygen tank with me.
Well, we can go training, dude. We can start on we. Let's go hike Yosemite.
The last time I hiked Yosemite, I went to Merced Fall. Is that the
Let's
top
do
one?
Nevada Falls. No, Nevada's the highest.
Oh,
Well, like mainstream. Yeah, no, you could go up to Nevada. That's the second fall.
oh, that's what it's called.
Yeah, the first one's Vernal.
Vernal, that's what it's called. You can tell how long I haven't been there.
Let's go.
I think the last time I went,
Sunday.
I got a cramp coming down, and I wasn't in as terrible shape as I am now.
We could do the hike that me and my brother did.
Hmm.
We lost 10 pounds in one day.
Is that the one where you were so dehydrated?
Yep,
You go leave your Pokemon up there.
dude. No, we were just talking about that last night. I was like, honestly, it wasn't such a hard hike. It was just the sun was beating down on you 24/7. Um, I think the park's open, but you have to park outside the hike. I'm sorry, outside the park. But yeah, it's like 3 miles to get to the trailhead. Then you gotta go around because you can't use the caves anymore right now because of COVID. And then you have to do a whole 6 mile
So
ascend.
so you're just adding more miles on this?
Yeah, but it'll be worth it.
Is it though?
I'll treat you out. Nice
I'm
dinner,
I'll probably die up there. I'll be the
dinner on the
dinner.
beach with some it's. I know you like it's.
I don't know what that. I don't know what that is.
What?
I'm not
Look,
cultured.
look me in the eyes and tell me you don't know what that is.
I do not know what that is.
And it's it. You've never had an it's it. Where do I find you people? Okay, so an it's it. It's ice cream. It's an ice cream sandwich, right?
Uh huh.
But it's like an oatmeal cookie.
That's it.
Cookie sandwich dipped in chocolate
Oh my god.
and
If I don't
just
die,
chilled,
I don't die from the heart attack there. I'll die from the diabetes.
chilled to perfection. Bro, we had that on. We got out, and like I said, we were just completely dehydrated, exhausted, just not okay. And the first thing I got was an it's it. I scarfed that bad boy down, drank
You're
a bunch of Gatorade, and I was like, ooh.
you're also known to like your desserts and ice cream right after we have like a food, like when we go out to get food.
Yeah. Um. As a matter of fact, I just had some Cold Stone last night,
Cool invite.
but I mean, it was amazing.
I bet.
I'm just gonna say,
That's like your spot.
what do you get?
Might I go to Coastal?
Yeah.
Or I don't know. I never really go, so I'll probably usually be boring. Just get like chocolate or something. I don't know.
Uh,
I don't know the menu by heart like some people.
People probably are gonna cringe or like hate what I have to say, but I love cake batter. It's very sweet, I know, but I love it. And I get graham crackers with cherry pie crust. No, I'm sorry, cherry pie crust and then cherry pie filling. And then mix that bad boy up. I'm like, oh man, that's good. Why are you nodding in
It's
disappointment?
just Fat Boy season coming, huh?
We love food.
That's
We love food.
that's dessert. You love your desserts
I love food. I love dessert. Anything
to fill
that
you up.
tastes, yeah, pretty much anything that fills me up, and if it's good. Because I've had some shit desserts.
Wow.
I'm not gonna say where.
Alright, I'm gonna move on before we start insulting people.
Yeah, we got about like 5 or 10 more minutes left. Are we in this episode?
I have a story that's kind of local and it's kind of heartwarming. You probably heard about this, but they uh, they celebrated this 12-year-old here in the next town over. She apparently got a 2-year-old toddler out of a burning car. And
I
go ahead.
no, I was gonna say I did see the article, but I didn't get to read it.
Yeah. So I guess well, the story is that I don't know what she was doing, but I guess she just found this toddler in a burning car. She got her out, used a fire extinguisher or I'm sorry, a water hose to extinguish the fire on the baby's clothes, and then on the car, and then waited for firefighters. And like, what? How quick thinking from a 12-year-old to do that and put her life at risk at the same time.
Mm-hmm. The little hero.
So
What did they? I didn't get to read everything. So like, what did they give her? Do you know?
no, I just kind of skimmed through it. I just thought it was really cool to hear something kind of like heartwarming, even in like the
Mm-hmm.
next town over.
A little.
Don't hear that much about over here. But yeah, no, that's all. That's all I had. That was
Man,
those are all my notes.
that's wild.
Oh, actually, um, I want to shout out someone because she gave me an interesting thing to talk about before we go.
Hmm.
My brother's girlfriend. We talked about this with her. So apparently they're introducing, or they're already doing it in the Bay. These cars that drive, pretty much like rental cars, and you pretty much book the car, and it won't like activate itself until you like pretty much present yourself with an ID, a driver's license, and it won't unlock until you pretty much put the code in the app and it turns on like that. And I know you had a similar experience, but with like what was it, scooters in San Diego?
Mm-hmm.
I just thought technology is going so fast.
Yeah, I think I remember I was telling you that same night that back in like early 2000, I was watching the History Channel with my dad and like things that are supposed to be invented,
Hmm.
and that surprisingly was one of the inventions. Um, the only thing that was different was they were going to be like strollers. They were cars,
Yeah.
but the way they would actually fold up inward and compact themselves. So literally, you would just go up to the car, pull it out, set it up, and however it's supposed to be set up, and you get in, drive off, and then when you're done, you just pull it in, smush it back together, and you have like 6 cars in one parking spot.
What the?
Parking's great, yeah. And so to kind of see that like happening, pretty wild, pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Has have they tried that yet or
Yeah, this is a thing. I was reading about it. I have it up right now.
no?
So,
But has she tried it, or
oh
your
no,
brother?
but so she just sold her car because it was like beat up and she didn't want it anymore. Um, so she was gonna try this because they live like 4 hours away from each other. So to make her, so she can make the drive up there instead of buying a new car because she's moving out of the country, she was just
Mm-hmm.
gonna use this. But apparently, you have to have a membership. You either pay $7 a month or $70 a year, and then they include gas, insurance, and 180 miles per day, which isn't bad.
Oh wow, that's actually, yeah, it's actually kind of good for $70 a year.
Yeah, so 180 miles for $7 or 70 a year, and then you can reserve it by the hour or by the day.
Is it gas or electric?
It says gas, so I'm assuming it's just a petrol car,
Yeah, yeah. I
fossil
mean,
fuels.
that kind of sounds pretty good.
Yeah, but
I want to.
I'm assuming it's just like in big cities for right now.
Yeah, because here would not do well. It'd be Wally
Well,
like in a little gang outfit.
I mean, this is a pretty cool concept.
It really is, and it's cool to see it. Like I said, I remember watching when I was a kid that it was going to happen, and sure enough, it's might not be exactly, but it is happening.
Also, this is kind of interesting. Well, so she lives in the Bay Area, and this says San Francisco. And I just read, you can go hiking or go shopping or whatever. It gives you the idea of like if you know how small San Francisco is, and like so hard to find like parking. That's why
Parking.
some people get the smart cars because they're so tiny.
And I wonder if
So
they have like designated parking spots now throughout the city.
maybe. But what I was thinking is, what if you don't want to get a car and you just do this for so long or whatever, and you
You
have your
could
own car?
you could what's that place called where Bart's at? You could park your car outside the bay,
Hmm.
take the BART into the city,
Yeah,
and then pick up a car like that.
yeah. I know my buddy used to do that to not go into town too.
Yeah, because traffic is. I'm pretty sure a lot of people. Oh, before we go, shout out to Sacramento.
I've been in
They
Sacramento.
count. They count to 14% of our listeners here in
Oh,
Cali.
Sacramento.
Yeah, thanks, guys. I would have never thought Sacramento, of all places. That's pretty cool.
Probably all the Kings players listen to us.
Hmm?
The Kings players,
Who?
basketball.
Who are they?
I need a new partner.
All right, guys. We're about to end our a lovely show today. Alex, you got anything else you want to say? Any more shout
uh,
outs?
Shout out
Hmm?
to the producer we have out backstage right now,
Future producer, checking out our show,
getting the behind the scenes.
behind the scenes, seeing how we do stuff around here, seeing what we be eating.
How we
And
work.
that's what we got to talk about next episode. We got to talk about what are they called? Struggle meals.
Oh,
Yeah, that'd be real. We're gonna have to think about that one because I have a few that I was just making the other day.
that's a good one. That's a good one.
All right, everybody. I hope you enjoyed our show today. Come back, listen to us again, and we'll see you guys later. Be safe.
Don't drink and drive.
Don't ride your horse and drink. Wait, that wasn't dirty bike.
Goodbye, guys.
Later.